So this notebook is supposed to be like a training workbook, but for creative practice, really making videos, but inclusive of animation, 3D, illustrations, visual effects, and plus like filming and editing. And last week, I didn't really use it as such. Most of the days, I didn't even fill it out. I think the big reason why I didn't stick to planning out my creative practice last week, I'm not really sure what I'm practicing for. Like, to get better at making videos, to make better videos, yes. It helps me to think of things in terms of projects. So, like last week, one of the projects I had was to create a 3D scene to use as like a screensaver type video for video podcasts. And I was able to use that to get in practice in Blender. Like the week before, I said practicing Blender was a thing I was going to work on training. But it wasn't until a week later when I actually had a project to use as practice that I got in that practice. And my hope always is that this vlog ends up being the engine to a lot of this. But it hasn't been, in part because I haven't really figured out what it is that I want to do with these videos beyond just making them because I like making videos. And it is practice. It's just not as intentional of a practice as I think I need. But I think having to reflect on that will hopefully be helpful. Because like right here, what worked, what didn't, why. What worked was having a project that kind of focused the practice. What didn't work, time management or making time for practice separate from work. Why? Because there's only 24 hours in a day and I need to sleep at some point? I don't know. Because I didn't plan out my time enough. What will I change? Making time to do this. Planning out my practice ahead of time. Because the thing that's working for me right now when it comes to like the triathlon training is there's this training plan that I'm following. So I know Tuesday I'm doing a run workout and I know exactly what the workout is. So I just have to make time for it and then follow that workout. I just need to create a similar system for creative practice or creative training, I guess. So, a big reason why I wanted to surf this morning is to remind myself, to make myself more appreciative of the life I've built for myself. I'm able to surf in the morning. And today, even though it doesn't feel like it, because a lot of the work that I have to do is more writing oriented, in addition to having calls, my day job is primarily about making videos now. Like this was all the dream 7 years ago when I actually sat down and in my morning pages wrote out what an ideal would look like. It started with surfing and the work that I had to do was making videos. In addition to some other stuff like coding, illustration, or animation, which is also a part of my job. Coding less so, but it can be. Plus, I'm vlogging, and I feel like I'm getting a little more of the hang of vlogging, so I just want to lead a fuller life and feel like I have the opportunity to do so. I just sometimes limit myself from actually doing so. For no good reason. Anyway, now I gotta get on a call. No joke. This is actually research for work. Doing an explainer video on an antitrust case, and so I figured, why not use the board game Monopoly to explain Monopoly allegations. And I've never actually played Monopoly. Monopoly Junior, yes, all the time when I was a kid with my sister. Real Monopoly? No. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to use this, but because I'm creating an explainer video about business and monopolies, and I found someone on Sketchfab who has a free 3D model of the board game Monopoly, and I've been on this little 3D kick, I figured, let me bring it into Blender and just mess around a little bit to see if I could use it to create some sort of animation. And this is what I've come up with so far. Again, no idea if I'll use it, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, which is half the point. I refuse to call this writer's block. Just for the record. I'm not blocked, I just haven't arrived at the words yet. I'm heading into actually, I think I'm already in what feels like is going to be a busy season. So that means I'm going to need to be working more on videos, different kinds of videos, probably 7 days a week. So one thing I want to make sure that I'm doing is not feeling like I'm just stuck in the office all the time. Big reason why I got this iPad is so that I can do some work outside of the office, as well as to practice drawing to get better at storyboarding, to actually be storyboarding. Because I think with getting busier, with having a bunch of videos that I'm going to be working on over the next few months, different kinds of videos, pre-production's going to be super important. Getting scripts dialed, getting shot lists together, getting storyboards done. So what I wanted to do today was start getting in that rhythm of creating storyboards. So I wanted to try out Procreate Dreams to put together a storyboard that's kind of an animatic. So it's not just a storyboard, but I can kind of play it through. And so when I think back on this week and the practice I was trying to get in, it was really just trying to get my shit together, get on top of my shit, blocking out my time, figuring out what it is that I need to be working on each day to chip away at projects. But I also want to make sure that I'm enjoying it all the whole time because I really like making videos. And so what I've tried to do, especially with these videos, is document the parts that feel most enjoyable or use the documenting to romanticize the parts that in the moment may not feel as enjoyable. Because there are some things that I have to do that are going to feel more tedious, but if I can shoot them in an interesting way, well, I enjoy filming, so maybe that's how I can make that stuff fun. Or in the case of these storyboards, in addition to wanting to practice draw and practice storyboarding, needing to get my shots in order for this skit I got to shoot. It was also, I need some sort of video to shoot today. This is as good as anything to document. And so I guess that's my hope for these videos moving forward, is to use them to document my work, document my practice, and continue getting in practice. All kinds of practice. Because the practice never stops. Anyways, that's it for this week's video. Thanks for watching.